Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email us, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And there will be many questions concerning this watch. Quietly launched in 2022, built only on request, not cataloged, and retail priced deep into six figures. This is the Canopus White Gold Omega Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch Sapphire. So it's white gold. It is Speedmaster Professional Moonwatch, but as you can see, set with extraordinary baguette sapphires of bezel and of dial. It is simply groaning with refinements and opulence. This is one for an emperor. Now, in terms of rarity, there's nothing official. Some claim these are unique watches. I do not believe that. I believe production is somewhere between 3 and 6 per year, and we believe that as of 2025, there are 10 of these in existence in the world. So that is the best we can manage. Only Omega knows for sure. So the timepiece is similar in size to a standard Canopus White Gold Moonwatch. So 42 millimeters in diameter. It is a sapphire sandwich, and I mean that in the crystal sense over the case back in the dial. 13.5 millimeters thick, 47.3 lug-to-lug, a 20 millimeter spacing in between the lugs. Throwing it on my wrist, it has the quality that you get on modern Rolex and Audemars Piguet Royal Oak offshores with full bracelets and precious metal. It's just really, really heavy. It's deeply impressive. And I happen to find that one of the most appealing features of the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. You can see that because it's so short, lug-to-lug, it wears really comfortably. Now, this is a conventional Moonwatch. This is not the Ed White, so we do have a larger case, and because we have pivoted end links on this vintage style bracelet, I can actually recommend this for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Again, mine's 16, and down the barrel really tells the story. It'll probably get hung up on a cuff. You can see it has that cantilever to the bezel, so jacket sleeves, sure, the tightest of dress cuffs, no. This is an absolutely viable dress watch. After all, opulence and formal attire do go hand in hand and wrist in wrist. The watch is extraordinary in detail, and not just because of the sapphires. The aesthetic of the watch was modeled after the historic reference 105012. So that was the reference that flew to the moon, and that was the first reference that flew to the moon. And so this watch is part of the modern Moonwatch series, but it harks back to one of the earliest versions of the Speedmaster Professionals that actually went up with Apollo 11. So 105012, and you got the right idea. The bracelet is not slavishly vintage in style, but it is designed to evoke that era. You can see a combination of polished satin, a semi-conforming end link, a taper down towards the clasp, removable links fixed by screws, and that on both sides. We have a single fold, thick gauge, white gold deployant, twin trigger release. And so it will not pop open unless you want it to. There is a push button micro adjustment in here, something that Omega has introduced across the Speedmaster line since they were redesigned wholesale back in 2021. And taking a look at the case, lyre-style lugs, we know them so well. An inward bevel, an outward bevel, with the outward bevel being polished and running the length of the case. The underside of the bezel is polished. Of course, we lose the tachymetric scale with the addition of the sapphires. Quel dommage, but I think we'll live. As you can see, and also set, faceted, and remarkably ornate crown. We have pump-style pushers. We have this cambered and boxed sapphire that's designed to look a little bit like a vintage plexi, but make no mistake, it's a sapphire. Taking a quick look at the dial, you can see there is a little bit of luminescence on the dial, including the 12 o'clock station, so you have a point of reference, and the chronograph seconds hand. We also have a lovely silvered sort of matte outer track that's downward canted, and then we have a very subtle silver sunburst at center with dished sub-registers that feature an azurage or concentric pattern internally. You will note that these hands are white gold and not white varnished like a standard Moonwatch. We also have an applique logo, and you can see those two little loomed indices flanking 12 o'clock. Taking a closer look, if you look and really focus down, you can see that each one of these indices is actually 2 gems, and that they are micro-faceted. The cutting work is outstanding. Of course, a modern Moonwatch now with the 3861, we now get a hacking seconds function. Hooray. Turning it all over, you can see that it is still every inch the Moonwatch, and it is a stock 3861, so manual wind, 50-hour power reserve, of course free sprung, master chronometer certified, lateral clutch, and a cam-based system that is very crisp. It is still at heart LaMagna-based, although these days the LaMagna base is a little bit more remote from the finished product because this is quite sophisticated. It does feature a coaxial escapement, a silicone hairspring, almost amagnetic resistance, a free sprung balance. You saw that it has the hacking function, and I really do have to give praise to this cam-based system. It's as crisp as just about any column wheel, so no objections there. The 50-hour power reserve is just 2 more than the prior Moonwatch caliber, but every little improvement counts, and it all pivots on 26 joules now, and it's 50 meters water resistant inside of this case. Master chronometer means it's tested as a fully assembled watch for 6-position chronometry, as well as power reserve, water resistance, overall durability, and anti-magnetism. So this watch has all of those qualities inherent in the 3861, the master chronometer. And to its credit, Omega put all of the advertising about this being worn in space, the coaxial, the master chronometer certification. It's all on the case back and mercifully not on the dial side. So all of this in really good taste. These are expensive. They're also rare. Buy it, you'll never see another. I can almost guarantee that. This is the type of piece you want because you want to complete an Omega collection, or you want the capstone to any comprehensive collection of rare, exotic, and important pieces. It's a singular experience. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.